Yeah, no, we're not gonna be there.
So I'm heading out with the Patriots.
Well, we did, but you know what? There's really no way to stop us anyway.
It's just
Blowing up the radio
yeah.
tomorrow.
I guess before, because they told us we should do it before 4 o'clock. That during the whole court thing, you don't take it in, but after 4 o'clock, it's becomes you can continue. I was like, I did not know that. I left it, but I do.
Hey, you guys move in. Bring it in. Bring it in. What are you thinking?
Look, it's an American porcupine.
Cover your face if you're worried about it. Stop, plug in. There you go, buddy. There you go. Why not? Give her a good shot. She's been waiting for this. Came all the way out here.
All right, first, can I have the correct spelling of your first last name and title?
Joey Gibson, Joey-Gibson.
So, what went on in there today? What were you here for today?
Basically coming here to defend my right to the First Amendment. We have a rally at Kiwanis Park on Sunday at 1 p.m. and a far left group came in and tried to have my permit pulled because they don't like what it is I have to say.
Did it get pulled?
We don't know yet.
It's still
We'll know tonight.
Did you get to hear it all? Did they explain in there why they wanted your permit?
Yeah, they spoke for 15 minutes and they went through a bunch of case law and basically was trying to say that it's not safe for battleground. That's all I heard for the most part. She spoke for a long time but didn't say much.
So, I was going to ask, did it sound reasonable?
No.
What is your permit? You're applying for a permit for?
Well, I already have the permit applied for a permit to have a Second Amendment rally, basically to try to make Battleground a sanctuary city for the Second Amendment.
Where were you going to hold that?
Kiwanis Park.
When?
Sunday at 1 p.m.
This Sunday.
This Sunday, yeah.
So as far as it stands, are you still going to have the rally?
We're going to have the rally no matter what. There's no way, no one's going to be able to stop us. Last time I checked, that first night.
What do you want to say about folks coming up there trying to thwart you? I mean, here you are trying to actually file the permit and do it the right way and keep this opposition.
I think that it just really shows how much people they just want to silence my speech. I'd show up no matter what, so they're just trying to use the permit against me. But I would say we should all be able to have a conversation and speak freely and just put up with people you disagree with. That would be good for the country.
I'll be there.
What kind of things would you be doing? Would you be having, inviting other groups or, when you say have a conversation?
Basically what's going on is a bunch of people are coming in because they want to hear about turning us into a sanctuary county or a sanctuary city. We have Rob Taylor coming up from Oregon. He's already done 8 counties down in Oregon successfully, turned them into sanctuaries for the Second Amendment. So he'll be talking, I'll be talking, and it's an opportunity for people to ask questions or voice any concerns.
So just so I understand this, it's a sanctuary, the proposal is to make it a sanctuary city for the Second Amendment?
Correct, yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and there's preemption, and so what we're really focusing on is the Fourth Amendment. According to 1639, it looks like they can come in and take your guns without a warrant, and so we want an ordinance saying that law enforcement has to have a warrant in order to take your property, which is a given. It's the Constitution. And we also want, if anyone's going to come from outside the city to come in to confiscate guns, they need to let the city know ahead of time.
As it stands right now, how does it work?
What do you mean?
Well, this is being proposed right now. Are people's representatives?
So the law 1639 goes into effect July 1st. So nothing's going to happen until July 1st. Basically what it is that they go through medical records and somebody can, for any reason, can determine you're ineligible to have firearms. That's at the state level. And then they're going to send the local police or sheriff's department to go take your guns. No due process.
Well, due process is a pretty basic right.
Yeah.
I don't know, what else going forward? Is there anything, you know more about this than I do, I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to read up, I've been driving.
So good.
What else do you think is important to get out there that I didn't ask?
So right now we have Clark County Sheriff Atkins, who has made a decision to enforce 1639 to its fullest, which means he's disrespecting the Constitution and he's willing to kick down doors without a warrant. So this is why we're going around city to city and asking the cities to fight back, because right now we have a sheriff who's not going to protect us or the Constitution.
Joe, do you have any sense on how many people you expect to show up this Sunday?
It's going to be hard to say because we have put quite a bit of money down for radio ads, so it's hard to predict because they're not marking going on the event pages. We've also handed out at least 2,000 flyers on the streets in Battleground, so we'll find out on Sunday.
You mentioned in there that you've had 31 rallies in Washington State since the last one.
Since October of 2018, yeah.
And generally, those have been fairly peaceful. Why do you think that is?
Because in Portland, we have a mayor that refuses to enforce the law. He uses the police as puppets for a political gain. Okay, and there's also a culture within Portland where they find it appropriate to attack people who have conservative ideology. In Washington, it's a lot different. I'm going around to these more rural areas, and no one shows up because they don't want to get arrested. And I also think that people at Battleground won't put up with a bunch of masked people showing up. So.
This gal, you said that the group that's involved is from Portland. She made it a case to say several times, now I've been a Battleground resident for a long time.
Yeah, it's again, because what they're doing is exactly the same thing that those Portland groups do. There's a bunch of Portland offshoot groups, and they're leaking into Vancouver. And she may live around here, but that group is based off of, they're working with Portland groups and Antifa. And it's that communist ideology of shutting down other people that you disagree with. So.
When I asked you earlier, you had said she talked for a while, didn't really say much, but how long did she talk? What kind of things did she say?
She talked for about, under 15 minutes. And she brought up case law from other parts around the country to try to, like Chicago, to try to justify shutting down someone's free speech. So.
What's her background? Do you know who? I didn't get who she was.
I don't know.
Was she the only one who did get up?
There's two people up there. She was the only one that spoke. And ironically, this group just had a march 2 days ago down in Vancouver, Washington, and they're exercising their First Amendment. I doubt they had a permit. And we went down there, we recorded them. We didn't oppose them, we didn't stop them. We respect their right to the First Amendment. We disagree with their message. But I just think it's funny they just had a march, and now they're trying to come up here and try to stop our rally.
I think we've just started live streaming this. I'm just going to say we now are live streaming it on our website, wiki.com. Is there anything that you want to reiterate just for our web audience that if you're watching right now about what happened today and where it stands and how it's going to go?
Yeah, I think people need to wake up and understand that it doesn't matter if you're on the left or on your right. It's not about protecting people who are on your side. It's about protecting everybody's rights. I don't care from far left to far right. Everybody has to understand that if we begin to take away free speech for one group, okay, that means they're going to go after the next group, then the group after that, the group after that. And like I said in there, I will stand up for anybody's right to speak freely. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they've assaulted me, what they've done. I would fight for anyone's right to just speak freely. The same thing goes with the Second Amendment. I don't care who you are. Everybody should have a right to defend themselves, to defend their family. And I also believe that at a certain point, we have to admit the fact that 1639 is completely destroying the Constitution. And if you're a Democrat and you believe in a little bit of gun control, I understand that, but this is going way too far. We're giving power to this government, to the state, to simply choose who can or cannot have firearms with no due process. That's absolutely amazing to me. And then now we're going to give the police the power to be able to kick down our doors without a warrant. That's unbelievable. This is what's crazy to me. So the group that's in there, okay, trying to oppose me, they have a huge concern for the police and that they have too much power, and they have a concern about them shooting other people. There's two things about that that's crazy to me. They basically want to disarm these police. Okay, if you want to disarm the police, then you better be arming the people. You better be for the Second Amendment. And the other thing too is if they are concerned about how powerful the police state is, then they better stand with me in terms of fighting their ability to take guns without a warrant. If these officers start kicking down doors without due process, that's going to be really bad. Talk about a police state. See, this is the thing, is that they think they oppose me, but we don't. We don't oppose each other. I'm for the people. The thing that I oppose is the people at the top. That's it. But they get so caught up in this tribal thing, you know, just trying to trip me up as much as they can because they disagree with me. But they'll never be able to stop me. All they do is inspire me.
You were saying earlier when we were discussing this that the criteria that they're going to use for choosing where they're going to go and bust down the door and take weapons without a warrant is based on mental records. I mean, how in your understanding is it that they're going to pick where they go and do?
So the way the law is written, it's very vague and broad, which is very scary, is that you have to sign away your right to medical privacy if you want to exercise the Second Amendment. So you become a second-class citizen, okay, automatically right there. So they have full access to all your medical records, and somebody, we don't know who it is, we don't know if it's a doctor, a lawyer, a politician, that it doesn't say in the initiative, is going to go through every single person, and determine if you're eligible or not. So basically we have people in the back room who are going to look at someone's name, and they're going to determine if the Constitution actually exists for that person. And they're going to go through and decide, they're going to shred the Constitution for each person individually that they say they're ineligible. And so, and we don't know if it's because you're on some sort of antidepressants. We don't know if it's because, maybe, you're using medical marijuana. It could be, there's so many things. And so that's what's really scary though, is that Attorney General Bob Ferguson, what I think he's going to try to do is he's trying to pit the local police against us. Okay, that's what concerns me. If the state wants to come in and take our guns, then the state needs to do it, not our local police officers. I guarantee you these officers here in Battleground and all of these cities in Clark County, these officers do not want to come in and start kicking down doors and start taking guns. Okay, I guarantee it. And so that's why I want to say that the local police are not going to do it. And I want Bob Ferguson to send his people down into Battleground, and his goons are the ones that can come in and break the Constitution, but not the local police.
Just playing devil's advocate here, why do you think they want to make it this uncomfortable for you?
Who's they?
People who want to start enacting this and going in, being against the sanctuary and coming in.
The people in Battleground really love it. These people who come in here, they're just a Portland group, okay, with Portland ties. And as Portland has been constantly, since I stopped going in there, they're trying to trip me up in certain ways. They do these phone campaigns. I have a radio ad that was out. They had hundreds of phone calls coming into the company to try to take my ad down. And they also started calling they started harassing all the advertisers, okay? And for what? Because the commercial simply states that 1639 means that they can break the Constitution or break the Fourth Amendment. That's all the radio ad was. They should definitely, not only should they not be trying to pull that commercial down, they should be forking up some money to help us get the ad going longer. It's crazy.
It really is a gnarly issue, it sounds like.
You've been pushing Battleground to become a Second Amendment sanctuary. Why Battleground?
Because the people want it. And the
Yeah.
people are motivated, they're inspired. I've been to a lot of counties around Washington trying to do this, and Klickitat is the only county where I've seen this much energy. And in fact, I don't have to go in there anymore because the people are doing it themselves. They're so motivated. Battleground, I love Battleground. It's a great area and the people want it. I live 5 minutes from here, and so it's good to be here and to fight, basically on my home turf.
How many of the people around you are
Here,
here.
Battleground. And the thing is too is all these people that are supporting it, whether they're from Battleground or not, they're all from Clark County. If we get an ordinance in any of these cities, it's a win for the entire county, the entire county. Whether it be Woodland, Richfield, the Center, Camas, Washougal, Vancouver, any of these cities, it's going to be a win because it's taking that first step and that momentum. There's a lot of city council members who are nervous and they're scared to do this because it's never been done before. And so, there's not a lot of trailblazers out there, unfortunately. So it's going to take a trailblazer, it's going to take someone with courage and conviction to take that first step. And what I've noticed is when you kind of break ground, you be that first person to do something, then other people are going to follow you and do the same thing.
You've been before city council a couple of times. Have you had conversations outside of that with any of the council members? Do you have any sense that they can open passing a resolution like
I
that?
talk to council members all the time, and here's what I find, okay? it is not going to be popular for any council member to speak out against this. Any city council member who's going to oppose this, they're gonna be in trouble, and they're gonna have a hard time getting reelected. We have 3 of them up for reelection this year, and they need to make a decision, because if they either try to postpone it or procrastinate it, or they speak out against it, or they fight against it, they're gonna lose their reelection without a doubt. I'm talking about in the cities where they overwhelmingly voted no in 1639. Obviously, if you go down to Vancouver or Seattle, for example, you know, it's going to be impossible. So it's about the counties. Like Klickitat County, I believe it was 65% voted no, plus or minus. That's a very rural area. It can take 2 hours for the police to get there. That's just an automatic win. That's going to happen without a doubt there. Anything else?
I got here late. Sorry. Traffic was terrible.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, sorry. But just talk about the decisions. I missed it.